Canada slaps tolls on U.S. goods bound for Alaska. This unexpected move has sent shockwaves through the trade community, leaving many to wonder about the future of cross-border commerce. Hold on to your toques, folks, because this isn't just a minor hiccup. It's a significant development that could reshape the dynamics of North American trade. Things just got interesting between the U.S. and Canada. The two countries have long enjoyed a friendly relationship, but this latest move has added a new layer of complexity. Our neighbors to the north, known for their politeness and maple syrup, have seemingly decided to throw a wrench into the gears of U.S.-Alaska trade. This isn't just about tolls, it's about sending a message. The Canadian government has implemented these tolls as a strategic maneuver, aiming to address grievances and assert their stance in the ongoing trade discussions. How, you ask? By slapping tolls on goods traveling through Canada to the last frontier. This means that every truck carrying essential supplies to Alaska now faces additional costs. That's right, every truck carrying groceries, construction materials, and even those little shampoo bottles you steal from hotels now needs to pay up to traverse Canadian soil. This move has caught many by surprise, leading to a flurry of reactions from businesses and consumers alike. The tolls are not just a minor inconvenience, they represent a significant financial burden for companies that rely on this route for their supply chains. The added costs could lead to higher prices for consumers and potential disruptions in the availability of goods. This isn't some random act of border town banditry though. It's a calculated move by the Canadian government, a direct response to the trade war shenanigans kicked off by a certain someone south of the border. The Canadian government has made it clear that this decision is a response to previous trade policies that have impacted their economy. It's a reminder that actions have consequences, and international relations are a delicate balance. Remember those tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum a few years back? The ones that made everyone wonder if international diplomacy had just devolved into a playground spat? Well, Canada hasn't forgotten. This move is a direct response to those tariffs, highlighting the long-term impact of trade policies. The tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum were a significant point of contention, leading to strained relations between the two countries. Now, Canada is using these tolls as a way to level the playing field and address the economic imbalances created by those tariffs. The ones that made everyone wonder if international diplomacy had just devolved into a playground spat. Well, Canada hasn't forgotten, and now they're taking their sweet, sweet time getting even. This move is a reminder that trade policies can have long-lasting effects, and countries will take steps to protect their interests. And now, they're taking their sweet, sweet time getting even. The tolls are a strategic move, designed to apply pressure and encourage a resolution to the ongoing trade disputes. This situation might seem comical at first glance. We're talking about tolls, not tanks after all. But the implications are far from a laughing matter. The economic impact of these tolls could be significant, affecting businesses and consumers on both sides of the border. We're talking about tolls, not tanks after all. But the implications are far from a laughing matter. The economic impact of these tolls could be significant, affecting businesses and consumers on both sides of the border. But the implications are far from a laughing matter. The economic impact of these tolls could be significant, affecting businesses and consumers on both sides of the border. The added costs could lead to higher prices for goods, and potential disruptions in the supply chain could create shortages and delays. This seemingly minor border dispute has the potential to snowball into a full-blown trade war, disrupting the lives of countless Americans and Canadians alike. The tolls could lead to retaliatory measures, further escalating tensions, and creating a cycle of economic conflict, disrupting the lives of countless Americans and Canadians alike. The tolls could lead to retaliatory measures, further escalating tensions, and creating a cycle of economic conflict. The impact on the supply chain could be significant, leading to delays and shortages of essential goods. So buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get interesting. The next few months will be crucial in determining the future of U.S. Canada trade relations. Will the two countries find a way to resolve their differences, or will this dispute lead to further economic turmoil? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the road ahead is going to be a bumpy ride. Now you might be wondering why Canada has so much leverage over Alaskan trade. It's a fascinating situation that stems from geography and logistics. Here's the thing, Alaska, despite being part of the U.S., is geographically challenged. It's separated from the contiguous United States by Canada, making it an isolated outpost in the far north. See, the only way to drive to Alaska from the lower 48 is through Canada. This means that any goods, services, or people traveling to and from Alaska by road must pass through Canadian territory. There's no magical ferry service that teleports goods across thousands of miles of ocean. While there are ferries that connect parts of Alaska, they are not a viable option for the bulk of commercial goods. No, everything from fresh produce to lumber has to travel on good old-fashioned roads, right through the heart of British Columbia. This route is essential for maintaining the flow of goods into Alaska. This geographical quirk makes Alaska uniquely reliant on its northern neighbor for essential supplies. Without this land route, Alaska would face significant logistical challenges. Imagine a giant game of the floor is lava, but instead of molten rock it's an ocean, and instead of kids, it's an entire U.S. state. Alaska is essentially an island, cut off from the rest of the country by vast stretches of Canadian wilderness and the Pacific Ocean. That's Alaska's reality, and Canada, like a savvy older sibling, has just figured out how to monetize this predicament. By imposing tolls and fees on the goods passing through its territory, Canada can generate significant revenue. Every day, hundreds of trucks rumble along the Alaska Highway, carrying everything from diapers to drilling equipment. This highway is a critical artery for the Alaskan economy, ensuring that the state remains connected to the rest of the world. This constant flow of goods is Alaska's lifeline, ensuring that its residents don't have to survive solely on salmon and whatever berries they can forage in the wilderness. The goods transported through Canada are vital for maintaining the standard of living in Alaska, but with Canada's new tolls, the cost of living in Alaska is about to get a whole lot higher. These tolls will increase the cost of transporting goods, which will ultimately be passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. And that's not even considering the potential delays and disruptions that could arise from this trade tiff. Increased border checks and bureaucratic hurdles could slow down the flow of goods, leading to shortages and further price hikes. Truck drivers and logistics companies are already feeling the pinch. Longer wait times at the border mean higher operational costs and more stress for those behind the wheel. Local businesses in Alaska are bracing for impact. Many are concerned about how these new tolls will affect their bottom line and their ability to keep shelves stocked. The Alaska Highway, once a symbol of connection and cooperation, is now at the center of a complex economic tug-of-war. As Canada seeks to capitalize on its strategic position, Alaskans are left to navigate the fallout. Canadian officials argue that the tolls are necessary to maintain and improve the infrastructure that supports this vital trade route. They point out that the wear and tear on Canadian roads from heavy truck traffic is significant and costly. However, critics argue that these tolls are an opportunistic move that unfairly targets Alaskan trade. They believe that Canada is leveraging its geographical advantage to extract more money from its southern neighbor. As the debate rages on, one thing is clear: the relationship between Alaska and Canada is more intertwined than ever. The future of this vital trade route will depend on finding a balance that works for both sides. For now, Alaskans will have to adapt to this new reality. The road that runs through Canada is their lifeline, and navigating its challenges will be crucial for the state's continued prosperity. In the end, this story is a reminder of how interconnected our world is. Even in the far reaches of the north, the actions of one country can have profound effects on another. And as Alaska and Canada navigate this new chapter, the road ahead will be one to watch. Leading the charge for Canada in this international game of chicken is British Columbia's Premier, David Eby. A man known for his tenacity and unwavering commitment to his principles, Eby has become a central figure in this escalating trade dispute. And let me tell you, he's not mincing words. His stance is clear, his resolve unshakable. Eby is determined to protect Canadian interests, no matter the cost. Eby has made it abundantly clear that as far as he's concerned, Canada has been patient long enough. The time for waiting and hoping for fair treatment is over. Now it's time for action. The U.S. wanted to play hardball with tariffs? Well, two can play at that game. Eby is ready to match their moves, step for step, ensuring that Canada is not left at a disadvantage. While Eby hasn't actually uttered the phrase "pay up or get lost," his actions speak volumes. His policies and decisions are a clear message to the U.S. and the world: Canada will not be pushed around. The tolls, he argues, are a necessary response to the unfair trade practices of the United States. These measures are not just about money, they are about standing up for what is right and fair. He's framed this as a matter of principle, a stand against the economic bullying tactics of the previous U.S. administration. Eby believes that Canada must take a firm stand to protect its sovereignty and economic interests. "We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore," Eby has said, his words echoing the sentiments of many Canadians who feel that their country has been treated unfairly on the world stage. His speeches resonate with a populace tired of being on the receiving end of economic aggression. He's painted this as a fight for fairness, for respect, and for the right of Canadians to determine their own economic destiny. This is not just a political maneuver, it's a call to arms for every Canadian who believes in justice and equality. The history of trade between Canada and the U.S. has always been complex, filled with agreements, disagreements, and renegotiations. But this time, Eby is drawing a line in the sand. His strategy is meticulous, well thought out, and backed by a team of experts who understand the intricacies of international trade. They are prepared for every possible outcome, ready to defend Canada's position. The impact of these tariffs and tolls is far-reaching, affecting industries across Canada. From manufacturing to agriculture, every sector feels the ripple effects of this trade war. Business owners and workers alike have voiced their support for EB's tough stance. They understand that short-term pain may be necessary for long-term gain. They are willing to endure the hardships if it means a fairer playing field in the future. Analysts have weighed in, offering various perspectives on the potential outcomes of this standoff. Some predict a resolution through negotiation, while others foresee a prolonged battle. But one thing is clear, EB's resolve has changed the dynamics of this trade relationship. At press conferences, EB remains confident and composed. He fields questions with ease, articulating his vision for a fairer trade system. His message is consistent. Canada will not back down. Public support for EB is strong. Social media is abuzz with messages of encouragement, and rallies have been held to show solidarity. Canadians are united in their desire for a fair deal. The international community is watching closely. Global leaders are reacting and diplomatic channels are buzzing with activity. The world is taking note of Canada's bold stance. As EB reflects on the journey ahead, he knows the road will be challenging. But with determination and the support of his fellow Canadians, he is ready to face whatever comes next. This is more than just a trade dispute, it's a defining moment for Canada. A moment to stand tall, to assert its place on the world stage, and to fight for a future where fairness and respect are the cornerstones of international relations. With leaders like David Eby at the helm, Canada is poised to navigate these turbulent waters with strength and resilience. The message is clear: pay up or get lost, because Canada is here to stay.